it's Morwhenna here and welcome to my studio. Welcome back if you've been here before and welcome if you're new here. It's really lovely to have you join me today. There's a number of things that I've got on the go as usual, so let's dive in, let's get started. I have wound my Tamar yarn. Now, it's been really hot here in the UK, much hotter than normal for May. So that meant that I had to do some of my activity quite late at night. So I was there almost, I think, nearly midnight, headphones on, dancing away and winding my yarn. So I've wound into some nice little cakes. And here's the green one, and I've already started swatching. So the yarn recommends a 3mm needle. So I actually bought some nice copper, if you can see those, copper needles. And these are these ones, Lykke. And the reason I bought copper ones for this project is because my great-grandfather was a copper miner, and he was one of the many thousands of Cornish people who emigrated for mining. So they ended up going to America. And I thought it'd be really nice to, add another layer to the story of the Morwhenna shawl, So I've knitted this swatch up first, and it's lovely and lofty yarn, but you can see it's quite dense, and this really doesn't match the gauge for the pattern. So what I've done, I've started on, so I only had some old aero needles, which I'm finding a bit awkward to use, but they're 4mm, so it meant that I could start making, looks a bit like a prawn, doesn't it? A bit like a prawn. Start doing the swatch on the 4mm, which is what the pattern calls for. So that's where I'm at with this one. I'm just swatching at the moment to get the gauge right, and then I can get started on making that between working on the other projects, because I'm discovering it's quite nice having a few different ones on the go at the same time, depending on what kind of mood I'm in, and the weather as well has been having quite an impact. And for that reason, the weather being so hot, I paused a bit on my cardigan. So this is the Tierney cardigan I'm making. So I did the next pattern repeat, and I've got up to the part where it's calling to join in the sleeve. So that's where I got to. And because it's quite a large project and it sits on my lap while I'm knitting, I was finding I was getting too hot doing it. So still wanting to be having some knitting project in my hands, I actually went back to doing my disco socks. So let me just move those out of the way. Let me move those over so I don't get all tangled up. Move those over there. So the magical animal for this year is Gwendolyn, the giraffe of disco. And I started making some disco socks. So this was the first one I made, and I used some really lovely yarn from Tamar Yarn, which I bought when I was down in Cornwall over Christmas, merino, and then I used the yarn I already had, a sock yarn, which isn't as, I think it's supposed to be a merino, but it's nowhere near as soft as the merino I bought for the cuff here. And when I did this sock, I really messed up the toe. You can see I made a bit of a mess of that because I was too keen to get it finished. I was distracted. So I had a plan to do lettering and everything, which I talked about in a previous episode. And when I was looking back and thinking, okay, I really want to, let's pick up the sock again because it's been so hot here. but I really want to get another project on the go. So I started on sock number 2. And what I decided to do was, I decided that I didn't like this cuff with this sock anymore. So I'll leave this one as it is, but I'm going to use the merino yarn, this unicorn yarn, for something else. So I'm going to save that for something else, but I'll leave it on the sock. I'm also going to redo the toe. And I've been doing a bit of research, and with some help from some lovely people in the Winnick Mum Facebook group, I can cut this off and then re-knit it. And I would like to do an anatomical toe, because I find that this shape of toe doesn't really suit my foot shape. So I'm also going to have a go at doing that. So I'll redo the toe on this one. And then once I get to do the toe on this one, so you can see I'm at the heel flap at the moment, I will do an anatomical toe as well on this sock. And I've ditched the idea of doing the letters on these ones because I couldn't, maybe I wasn't in the right frame of mind for doing it, but I couldn't quite find the font I liked, and then trying to get the wording from my artwork into the knitting. I think I'm not quite there yet in terms of my skill set. So I've decided to make these socks as they are, and then that's more sock practice, and try a different toe for these. Yeah, so they're coming along now, and I was surprised actually how quickly I knitted this up, considering I'm quite a slow knitter. So that's those coming along, and I'm doing that on, I'm using an Addi Sock Wonder, so I'm doing a small circular and then I'm on the DP ends. But I have bought, I'd seen a couple of posts about the Addi CraSyTrio shorts. So these needles, where they're a combination of a DPN, a small circular, and I think a sort of a magic loop thing, I think. And I thought, okay, they look really interesting, because I'm keen to try different techniques until I find the one that works best for me for socks, because I've just got to really love making socks, even though I've only done a few. Here's what they look like. So they've got a bendy bit in the middle. So I've not tried them yet. Do the thing with the hands. Hopefully that makes it easier to see. So I just got these this week, and I actually found these on Vinted. So I really like trying, if I can, to buy things secondhand where possible. And I'd had a look, I'd been looking at these, and then the very next morning a post popped up with these for £10 on Vinted, and I thought that's a really good price. They hadn't been used, and I'll snap them up. So I'm yet to try those, but I'm looking forward to giving those a go. I think I might actually try these when I get to the sock part of the foot. Yeah, we'll try that. So there's some, just seeing what Timmy Cat's up to. Some progress on a project that I'd started January. Pick that up again. So that's an update really with those projects that are on the go at the moment. And I thought for this week's episode, we would take a visit to Gweek Seal Sanctuary, which I visited when I was down in Cornwall recently. It's been somewhere I've wanted to visit for quite a long time, and finally got to go, and a really, really interesting place to go. So let's swim over to the Seal Sanctuary, and I'll see you on the other side. a little tour around Gweek with the lovely seals and learning a bit about the work that they do, which is so important in helping our seal population. While I was editing the video, I thought, of course, my Seal of Curiosity badges. So I've got a few of these left. Here's one in a little packet, you can see that. And they come with a little card. So I designed these after my visit to Undersea Island as part of my Islands project. Let me just take this one out. Let's see if you can see that better. There we go, so cute, cute, cute. And yeah, Seal of Curiosity, and all about following the crumbs of curiosity and seeing where they lead you. So like I said, I've got a few of these badges left if you'd be interested in having one. I'll put the link below to where you can buy them, and you can get them from me directly. So they're all numbered, and they are, yeah, lovely to see them going out in the wild and going off on their own adventures. So I thought I would share those with you. So that's really my roundup for this episode. As always, there's loads of other things I could have talked to you about, but I have to rein myself in. I need to rein myself in and not talk to you for hours on end. So I'll be ready to see you in another couple of weeks' time, hopefully with some more progress with my socks and the shawl, and maybe some more on the cardigan. And let me know, have you used any of these? Have you used these needles? Let me know how you've got on with those. Are you using any of the blacker yarns? Have you done the anatomical toes or rounded toes? Let me know about your sock preferences. And yeah, just drop me a line and let me know how you're getting on with your own projects. Be lovely to hear from you. Great, I will sign off now, and I will see you in a couple of weeks' time. Take care. Bye-bye.